Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. In today's episode, we are going to recap the financing win against the Atlanta Falcons. We talk about the Atlanta vibes. We talk about the game. We talk about Sam Howell, EB, Jamin Davis, Benjamin St. Juste, all the players in this game. Recap the studs and duds, and then we preview it's Giant Week, y'all. Buckle up. It's time to Own the Huddle.
This is Hog Farmer Chris and the 2022 Commanders Fan of the Year. Before you listen to Red Zone in the Lab podcast, I want to thank you for your support and bringing awareness to the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation, which helps children and their families affected by pediatric cancer. You truly make a difference. And with that being said, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. It is your boy DT. We got Breeze, we got Ceelo, and we are covering after a wild game in Atlanta. And, you know, a couple of the gang went down there and went to Atlanta, had a great experience with the stadium, had a great experience watching the team play against Atlanta Falcons team. Let's go ahead and recap that with the fan experience from what we've seen. So, Ceelo, I seen you were with the gang, Deuce, Riri, Chuck, and the gang and stuff. How did you feel about that stadium experience?
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. The stadium is beautiful. Kind of one of those situations where anywhere you sit, you could probably see, you know, in terms of the viewing angle. I like the way they did it. It's in downtown Atlanta. You know, it's in a city, so it's not like you have a ton of, what do you call it? A ton of tailgating and stuff. You have a little bit of that, but it's different than what we have, if that makes sense. So it's like in the city tailgating kind of experience. But the stadium itself is beautiful, man. I don't know if it's a retractable roof. I don't remember. Is it?
Yeah.
It was closed.
But the way it opens up look crazy too when you see it.
Oh, it's like a little, yeah. So now I think now you say that, now I remember now. It's a little crazy little transformer looking thing. But man, it's great. They have this beautiful mural. Not to get into the details, but like this beautiful mural of every high school in the state of Georgia has a helmet on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sick right there. Just the thought of kind of bringing, amateur sports, intramural sports, high school sports into like a kind of a professional setting is kind of dope. Kind of paying homage to kind of like the people who've kind of come through there. And it's a lot of cats, as y'all know, that come out of Georgia, Florida, Texas. So I just felt like that was really, really nice touch. So very, very beautiful stadium, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I can even recall the time when I went to the All Atlanta Stadium. Now, I haven't been there in a while, but I didn't go to an NFL game either. But last time I went to Atlanta, I had a great experience when I was in high school. I was in the band. You know, they took us to the Honda Battle of the Bands, and that was a great experience for me. That was actually my first NFL stadium experience, and you're looking at the dome and stuff. This was the old stadium now.
Georgia Dome, yeah.
As soon as you go inside, is like a crazy experience, and I guarantee you, from watching the games past couple of years, with the college football playoffs, the Chick-fil-A Classics, that stadium is definitely one of the top stadiums right now in the National Football League.
That's by far my favorite stadium I've ever been to. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I've been to a bunch of them, but of the ones I've been to, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I believe it is by far like the game day atmosphere, the aesthetics of the stadium, like Ceelo said, inside and outside. The location is fairly central to stuff in Atlanta. Yep. It's in downtown Atlanta. Like it's and like the product on the field is one thing, but outside of that, You know what I mean? Like the Falcons know how to do game day, man. Like the music, the atmosphere, like, you know, Pastor Troy got his own section in there. Like it's dope, man. Like it's fire.
Yeah. Oh, and DT, by the way, Battle of the Band was this past weekend. It was on Saturday. So
Damn.
I'm assuming I don't know if they actually did it in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium or the O. I don't remember which stadium they did it in, but it was this weekend. So you had battle bands this weekend. I went to Tuskegee, so Tuskegee had their homecoming this weekend, which is 2 hours away. It was just a crazy. It was just a
Oh,
crazy. It
Ceelo
was
was
a crazy
on
weekend.
moves. Okay.
That boy was on 10.
It was Atlanta was a good time, man. Good time.
We got a couple of shout outs in the building. Shout out to my guy Slim BT is in the building. Also, my boy CJ the Hog for the Hog Side Podcast. Hogs are in the building. Absolutely. We also got Miss Riri. She's also in the building. I told you about it. Wonder what that is. But let's go ahead and recap the game a little bit. So I can't remember the last time we met, but from my mindset looking at this Falcons game, I definitely didn't see a blowout that I seen from a lot of our fans outside of Twitter and stuff. A lot of people thought we were going to blow them out, but I expected this game to be definitely close. I felt like there were some points on the team between each other that we were kind of even. There are some things that the Falcons were actually going to put up some numbers in terms of sacks. I mean, that's another story for later on in this podcast. When we talk about what we seen on Thursday against the Chicago Bears on national TV, and to see this team definitely has some type of rebound against a team that is kind of growing in a sense, kind of like them. I was definitely impressed. They showed up and fought the challenge. There's still some things that need to be cleaned out, but they found a way to win, and that's all that matters in the National Football League. And they held the Atlanta Falcons in the second half to 6 points. It was a touchdown, but they tried to go for two. The defense had a solid showing. The offense, they put enough points, but there are some struggles in that second half. We saw 59 total yards of offense, and if I'm not mistaken, maybe 5 on third down in the second half. Ceelo, your experience at the game, you saw it in person. What were your thoughts on the both sides of the ball?
I mean, I think you articulated it well, man. I think the offense started out real strong. I liked what EB and the team, had in the first 15, as they say, right? That first scripted some number of plays. Sam looked real comfortable. Offensive line looked real good. They ran the ball well. Got the screen game going. We all saw the screen game. The D-Rob, he ran over dude. I mean, the first half was great from an offensive perspective. I think the defense still got some ways to go. You just I want y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say Drake London went for 100 yards. Kyle Pitts started out kind of strong, but he had a decent game. Wasn't great, but he had a decent game. Side note, I think Kyle Pitts hurt or something. He don't look right. He don't look right out there. Something about that situation. Desmond Ridder went for another 300 yards, which is crazy to me. Second 300-yard game in 2 weeks. So while the defense, the positives, 3 takeaways. You can't knock that. They caught the ball where they needed to catch the ball. Fuller, BSJ, and then obviously Jen with the almost a game stealing pick against BSJ against Bijan, and then holding Bijan in the running game, and the overall running game of that Falcons team was very impressive. I just think that, and by the way, side note, we'll talk about this later, but they ran a lot of 4-3 with my man Khalik Hudson out there, which I thought he played very well to be his first game, and the second game, obviously in the 2 years there, but first game this year in significant action. So you had some positives when it comes to the running game overall in the 4 quarters. You had the takeaways. That's a very positive. The knock, I will say, is I still think the pass rush is somewhat inconsistent. And I think the secondary to me is that they're just struggling right now. And it's across the board, not just manual forwards, but across the board. And like I said, when you see a guy like Desmond Ridder, God bless the guy. I don't think he's it, but he threw over 300 yards, and that's tough to believe. So that's to me, it's like a mixed game for them. But 16 points, right? You can't have so much better than that. So in the NFL,
yeah. I thought Kyle Pitts had a better game than he actually had. He only went 4 for 43 in a touchdown. I don't know why it felt like Kyle Pitts had a bigger impact. Yeah, I don't know why I feel like a big. I mean, 4 receptions, but and he had a touchdown. But I feel like it feels like he had a bigger impact than that.
But Drake London going 9 for 125. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. I'm on record as not being a big Drake London fan, but he continues to try to prove me wrong, and I don't like it.
Man, that's crazy.
I always like Drake London. I understand like the stereotype about big receivers. I just felt like from his release package standpoint, it was definitely different from what I saw with a name I'm not going to mention because everybody's trying to say Jahan Dotson this name. But we've been giving up a lot of yards to wide receivers. That has been so far the staple point of what teams are using to attack our secondary. Their number ones are getting their targets either on hitches, getting the ball in their hands, some way, some form. And Emmanuel Forbes, he didn't receive a single, and I mean a single snap on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Now, guys, this is the guy we invested a first-round pick in. There's a lot of controversy that night with the Gonzalez and Forbes and even, a guy like Banks, who I like. I don't think this is the biggest indictment on his career, but to me, I think it's kind of a wake-up call, and it kind of tells me from a coach's perspective that there were some things that Emmanuel Forbes felt like he was doing that was very college-like, and now he got a taste of that reality that this is the National Football League, and some of the freelancing that you're trying to do in terms of trying to get picks, baiting quarterbacks, it's not going to work the same way when you're going up against guys that has experience and the instincts playing this type of game. How do you feel about that as a coach, Breeze, when you seeing your first round pick not getting the snaps that we invested in and is looking like he might play this week? Well, what are your thoughts on this Emmanuel Forbes situation?
I mean, there's so much to unpack with the Forbes situation. I 100% agree with you as far as him playing kind of more so his college tendencies where the game is slower and you can afford to be a little more aggressive and take more chances and be right. And I feel like he got to a point where he started struggling and started pressing. Like sometimes as a cornerback, you just got to come up and make a tackle. You can't jump every route, like, you know what I mean? Because you're going to jump a route, you're going to miss, and you're going to break it for 80. You know what I mean? I feel like he was pushing, and that kind of led to where we are now. As far as his draft status, I mean, I know as far as me as a coach, when a kid is recruited, once you're on the roster and you're on the team, that star rating or your recruiting rating does not matter anymore. If you get on the field and you can't hold the standard that we've set for the starters or the people who should be on the field, you won't come off of it. I think the bench, I hope it worked. I do believe we'll find out this week. I know Kendall Fuller is dealing with a knee injury right now. I think Christian Holmes is still hurt, so he may have to play. I just hope that he's kind of learned from his mistakes, and play like I said the other day, like slow down, like slow your process down. Don't try to be aggressive. And the Emmanuel Forbes that was at Mississippi State, we will never see again. That's not a knock on him, but you want to house every interception you get in the NFL. That's not how this works. You're not going to pick off every pass that comes your way or get a hand on it every play. Sorry. Welcome to the big league. Like, this is not what we do anymore. This is not what's going to happen anymore. So I hope he's learning. He's a smart kid. He's a good player. I think he'll learn from it and be better for it. Especially with that D-back room that they have. From a player standpoint, coaching is a little different, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I mean, I was just gonna say. I think. I mean, Breeze is spot on. I think maybe the game is a little fast for him right now, and he doesn't realize it, or something along those lines. But Drake London, like we just talked about, literally had a career day. He went 9 for 125. That's the best he's done in his 2 years so far. I mean, a year, a year and some change in the league. So that secondary has issues way past Emmanuel Forbes, whether it's pass rush, whether it's technique, whether it's a combo. I don't know. Now you lose Defoe. Communication, your safety play. There's something not right going. Something's not quite there yet, and it's like big. It's not like we're giving up a little bit more than the past, and so you can say, okay, you got to tweak here, tweak there. We're about to set records. You know what I'm saying? So like in the secondary, it's something is not right, and we also have you got Fuller back there, who I would feel like is a veteran. BSJ kind of is a veteran. I mean, I know he's been up and down, but he's his third year. I don't know. You got Cam, who's a very smart player, and then you have a linebacker. So I feel like we have a nice balance of youth and experience. So you would think some of that would translate over to the rest of the secondary, and then you'll be able to kind of figure this stuff out. But it's now we about to go week 7, y'all, and they're having some significant issues. I really don't think it's just Forbes. Forbes is the scapegoat because he's definitely been struggling for sure, and he's the first round pick. But I think it's bigger than Forbes. That's kind of my issue, and I don't know how to fix. I don't know what to say to fix that.
So here's how I feel, right? And I usually like to defend a lot of my guys on defense with the Walt Del Rio jokes and all that. But at the end of the day, here's the reality. This defense is in its 4th year. The only changes really to the defense is really 2 guys that we started the season, and that's Cody Barton and that's Emmanuel Forbes on the outside. This defense should be there. Now, for some particular reason, and this is just the team as a whole, we always start slow. I understand, like, it's football. Sometimes, and Breeze, you can attest to this. Sometimes it don't start the way that you want to. You gotta get acclimated and stuff. But I think maybe just the expectation is, the defense has been there for so long, it should be clicking automatically because we expected this defense to at least help this offense as they go through their growing pains with a young quarterback, with a new OC, with 4 starting linemen, with wide receivers trying to learn new route trees and how to sit in the zones in this offense, new running game, running stuff like that with Juan Castillo and them. And they just have not lived to that expectation through the 4 years here. It's been very up and down, just like Del Rio has been up and down as a defensive coordinator when you look at his numbers.
I mean, one of the biggest red flags for me is going back to last season when I forget the point of the season when it was, but when the defense was playing one way and then Cam Curl got hurt, and the narrative that was spread out was, well, communication is all because Cam Curl is not there anymore. Why does your defense take that big a drop from one person, a safety at that, missing? You're not talking about one of the 4 first-round picks from the D line or one of the first-round linebacker you invest in. You're talking about a 6th, 7th round safety. Who, granted, we know he's a good player now, but like why is that why does that missing, that one piece missing, make your defense fall off that much? It was, what's up, Glenn? And like that's one of the biggest red flags for me of the 4 years on that, in addition to half of the defense you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole as far as scheme fits and all that kind of stuff, which is a whole other conversation. But I mean, at this point, you're 4 years into a defense, and as you said, the only new pieces are Cody Barton, the middle linebacker, and Emmanuel Forbes, who wasn't even getting 100% of the snaps. So, I mean, at this point, the guys that have been there, that have been doing it, we know we have good players on defense. Like, they should be, uplifting, holding the defense down, and for the defense to be the really the weakest part of the defense, something like that. Really, for the defense to be the weakest unit of the team right now, outside of maybe the offensive line, is crazy. Like, this should be the strength. Everybody agreed this is the strength of our football team, and it's legitimately the biggest weakness that we have right now.
Crazy.
I know about the cook.
Now I'll just say what's up, Riri. What's up, A-Dot, Chuck, Miss Janet, Kim. It's good. It's good hearing y'all, seeing y'all.
Shout out to the person. Group, A-Dot, Kim, Miss Janet, Riri, Mr. Glenn, Cody, Chuck. Shout out to everybody watching the podcast right now.
Yo, appreciate y'all.
So, Ceelo, I know you about to be stirring.
I think Breeze said it well, man. I'm not gonna add too much more than that. I think defense got to be better. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about the Giants in a second, but we've played some very marginal teams so far. Let's be honest, right? I think, just my opinion, I think Arizona's going to be a top 5 pick team. I think Denver's going to be a top 5 pick team. Atlanta, I don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to say. NFC South's kind of changing. It's a little weird right now.
They're changing.
Yeah, so, we really haven't been tested much other than 2 games, right? Buffalo and Philly. So they better get it figured out real quick.
They got tested in the first half against Denver for sure.
They did. And this game, although we played much better over the course of 4 quarters, I think. For sure. You want to handle business and you was on the road, but we can't let this happen against the Giants. And then let's not even talk about Philly. And I mean, it's going to be a buzzsaw of a schedule. So yeah, man, that's we'll see.
All right, so let's turn to our attentions to the offense. So, from what we've seen so far, the small sample size, Sam Howell loves to play on the road. You add up the stats, 100-some yards passing, 108 passer rating on the road, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. We're just seeing this kid grow in front of our eyes every single week. Hearing the press conferences, seeing the players love him, giving his support. We seen him giving comments about his own players, being that leader for this team. Now, throwing 3 touchdowns for a career high, 3 touchdowns in the first half, putting points when it matters, especially the defense made plays, special teams made play with Jamison Crowder. He reverted back to him his Duke days in the early years with the former name.
Speaking of which, real quick, if y'all see me speaking negatively about Jamison Crowder on Twitter, I am trolling. Okay? I am not being serious. In no way, shape, or form do I want Jamison Crowder replaced with the person whose job he took. I do not want that. I'm trolling. I am not being serious. Do not take me seriously. My bad. I had to get that disclaimer. I apologize.
Nah, you good. Cause I did see the tweet too. I was like, you trolling? You trolling. But we seen Sam so far played exceptionally well. But of course, the one thing that has been a bothersome and a concern has been the sacks that he will give up. There were times on Sunday where he had an absolutely clean pocket and he holds the ball long and he will either run into the sack or the sack will come to him. So, fellas, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think he can overcome this sack problem this early in his career? Right now, he leads the league in 34 sacks. And we know not all of them are on him. But when we can tell the sacks that are on him, and I think for me, evaluating what have I seen is I've seen a young quarterback that has all the talent in the world and the leadership, the intangibles to lead this team. But I'm really concerned because when we see these quarterbacks that get hit like this, they usually have the injuries that come along with it. And Sam's a tough kid, but that's the one big concern that's going to worry me as the season goes along. We play the Eagles, the Giants, Cowboys, 49ers. We're going to be playing these teams soon that are very physical. And for me, he has to learn to slide. He's going to have to learn to slide in this league. The Tim Tebow type playing style, that's not going to be what I kind of want to see for him. I like the gamer mentality, but you're going to have to take care of yourself in the NFL. So I'm going to leave the floor to you guys about this topic.
Go ahead, Ceelo. You got it first.
Yeah, I'm with you. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, you good. You good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the sacks are definitely a problem, man. Well, it's a problem. I wouldn't say definitely a problem. I would just say he's a young quarterback. So quarterbacks have strengths, weaknesses. They're working through it, experience, letting the game come to them, all that kind of stuff. And I just think that the way I see Sam, if y'all feel me, the way I see Sam like operating within the offense, it feels like he's trying to figure some stuff out given what's thrown at him, right? They're throwing a lot. They're literally throwing the most of anybody in the league right now. So I just think that it's a lot for him. So he's processing as fast as he can, and it's taking some time. Some cases he's running into his own, the own defender. That's a sack. Sometimes he should have thrown the ball away, but it's a sack. Sometimes he goes out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It's a sack, and I just think that he's trying to do a lot while also trying to win football games, right? So it's compounding. That's why I say I'm a little, to your point. Yeah, you can't keep getting hit like that. You're talking about breaking the sack record by 2x, right? David Carr was, I think, holding the record for a while now. He's definitely on that trajectory. But at the same time, it's even while you say that, the positives are fantastic. He does have wheels. He does have an arm. He's very accurate. He spreads the ball around. He's not worried back. He doesn't look panicky. He's very, very calm. Things that you really typically don't you can't really teach, right? Or it's hard to teach, I should say that. So I like what I see. I agree with you. You got to handle the sacks, but I don't want to, and Breeze probably talked to this. You don't want to what do they say? You don't want to put too much on them in terms of information overload. You don't want to keep critiquing him every day, all day, trying to give him too much to work on. You want him to kind of learn some of that stuff on his own and kind of balance out the instruction versus the negatives. So I want him to work on that. I want and then freaking EB ain't helping, right? EB is I want you to drop back 35 times. So what are you gonna do? So I feel but the problem with this team is not the offense, and I keep going back to that. So I want to critique EB, Sam, the offensive line. I'm thinking to myself, man, we're giving up 26 points a game. I'm like, and we're scoring 22. So I'm like, how I can't but go so far to blaming stuff on the offensive side, like Sam, which is again very valid. If my defense was doing their thing, then I may have a chance. I could play with a lead. I can do some different things. You know what I'm saying? But right now it's up and down. So I'm worried, but it's I'm kind of not worried. It'll work itself out. And I just want him to stay healthy. To your point, DT, that's the part that's the only thing that I think about is look, I just want this dude to play all 17 games, and that's it. So yeah.
I don't disagree. I do think it's something that can be fairly easily fixed. What I do find some solace in is the fact that while yes, we all agree that some of the sacks are on the O-line, some of them are on Sam, some of them are on just having long developing play call, all of that kind of stuff, EB and all that, right? I do find some solace in the fact that with the ones that are more on Sam, they're more so from him trying to stay in the pocket and make a play in the pocket and do what he feels is the right thing by making his reads and throwing the ball downfield. A lot of the sacks that are on him, he's not running 10, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and taking super deep sacks and all that kind of stuff. He's standing, it's 5, 6, yards in the pocket. He's standing in the pocket, looking downfield as people are around him. I think Sam is a smart kid. He's an experienced quarterback. I think with film study and just gaining more experience, he'll understand. I've said on here before, like when I'm coaching, I coach my quarterback. I understand we have 3, 4, 5 different reads on any given play, but make your pre-snap read, whatever based on what that is. If your first 2 reads are not there, put your foot in the ground, get 3, 4 yards, and get down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we can get Sam to that point of, hey, make whatever your pre-snap read is based on whatever your play call is versus your coverage and alignment and all of that stuff. And okay, boom, read 1 not there, read 2, boom, check down. The check down ain't there, put your foot in the ground, get something, and get down. I do agree that he needs to stop taking contact down the field when he does run. He played baseball, he can slide. I don't know why he insists on trying to drop his shoulder into people when he's all of all of 6 feet tall, maybe 215, 220 being nice. You know what I mean? Like you're not Cam Newton. You aren't Ben Roethlisberger. You aren't these big brolic quarterbacks of years past. Like get what you can get and get down. I appreciate you wanting to make a play and all of that and be willing to risk your body and all of that for the team. We don't need that. We do not need that. I promise you. We are a much better team with you on the field than with you hanging out with Anthony Richardson on the injury list right now. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that is why Anthony Richardson is why Sam Howell cannot continue to take punishment that he does, unnecessary punishment. Because we cannot afford to be in that predicament. With all due respect to Anthony Richardson. But yeah, I think it's something that's fairly easily fixable, fairly easily fixed. But like we said, EB does take some of the blame in that. You can't continue to drop him back 35, 40 times a game with a bunch of deep, long progressing passing plays, and he's just sitting back there staring, waiting for somebody to get open. Like, help him out. Do quick game. We did run the ball. We had 22 carries this past week, although 4 of them were Sam. So I don't know if those were. I don't think many of those were designed run, but we had 22 carries on the official stat sheet this week. Run the ball, help them out a little bit. You know what I mean? Keep teams honest, but they can't just rush everybody and hit the quarterback in the face. But I think it's something that'll get worked out and fixed moving forward. It'd be nice if we played a few teams that didn't have dominant defenses where we could, kind of chill out a little bit. But yeah.
So let's read this question real quick. This is from ADOT. I'm thinking about it now. If sacks was a problem last year with 2 different quarterbacks at the helm, and sacks are a problem this year with Sam Howell, could it be an offensive line issue and not a quarterback problem? No, I would have to say it's actually both. I mean, we understand that the offensive line from the moment Ron has got here has gone through many changes. It's also gone through injuries. Remember, Chase Roulier was starting center here. He just retired a couple of months ago. We had guys. We started out with Jerron Christian after Trent Williams left as our starting left tackle, and we our boy Leno, who our thoughts and prayers with, he catch strays a lot, and he's a good tackle in this league. Andrew Wiley, I would say he is a average guy that gives a lot of problems, but it's only noticeable when it's a big play left by him. But other than that, you don't hear his name call out as much. Sam Cosby has been pretty solid. Nick Gates, I'm okay with Nick Gates. I like his attitude and stuff, but I do see his limitation at times when, especially, he getting in space. And Sadiq Charles, he's just been staying healthy all year, but he'll win some battle, he'll lose a battle. So I think the offensive line is okay. It's good enough for Sam Howell because we can see from the pocket. Now it's just for Sam, to develop, getting the ball out of his hand and learning, like, you can't play hero ball every single time. That's the tendency. He's a gamer. He wants to have the big play every down. Sometimes you have to take, what's there, and sometimes if it's not there, throw it away or slide, get you 3 to 5 yards and take care of yourself.
That's the bigger thing, him throwing the ball away too. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, most definitely. And I also think for the offensive line, and this is my opinion, I don't think we're a running team. I understand we don't run the ball, But I just think right now the running game has had spurts, but they're not consistent as well. But I do see this offensive line with the rapport they're building. They're starting to develop and get better game by game. But as of right now, I don't think they are a running the football team like we've seen with the Scott Turners and other regimes we've seen. I mean, well, how do y'all feel about that? I that's how I felt for the first couple of games. That's how I feel right now because B-Rob hasn't had over 20 carries so far yet this season. It's been either
I think
19
highest was 18 or 19. Yeah, and that was I think week 1. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the stat sheet, the running backs. If you take out Sam Howell's 4 carries and Curtis Samuel's 1, the running backs did fairly decent. I mean, AG averaged 5 yards a carry. Chris Rodriguez averaged 5.8. B-Rob had 3.1, which isn't amazing, but it's not terrible. Like the running backs weren't bad, but I just think I don't want to say it, but I don't think you're wrong. Like I don't think we are a running football team, even though most offensive lines as units prefer to go forward and move people out of the way than dropping back in the pass sets. But yeah, I mean, maybe we're just not a team that's meant to run the ball. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think to Adot's question, we actually ended up right in the middle of the pack in terms of sacks allowed last year with Carson Wentz and Heineke. Y'all remember how bad Wentz was? I mean, he had that 9 sack game in Philly. So, and then you had Taylor Heineke is with all his faults. At least he knew the offense, so he got rid of the ball, and moved on. A little bit. He's a little bit more of a veteran. I just think that's what it is, man. I just think he's probably a kid, kind of like the Forbes situation that y'all mentioned earlier. He's probably thinking he's reverting back to some of his habits in college. He probably didn't give up the ball. He probably didn't throw away the ball either, right? He's probably trying to make a play. He's trying to be the savior. He's probably trying to go through his reads or maybe, eventually run out of the pocket. And what I'm noticing now is, he tries to break the pocket. It's too late. He's running into a defender, or it's just the defender's too fast. They're going to bring him down real quick. It's like, this ain't the ACC. So at some point, it's going to click. I really do believe that it's going to click. He's going to be like, all right, let me just throw the ball away. Or look at that. AG's right there. Let me just give it to him. I mean, it's 3 yards, right? So, but he's trying to make the play down the field, or he's trying to make whatever the play is called in his, in the headset. And it's just, he hasn't really figured out how to just balance that out yet. And I just think that's experience. That's just my, personal opinion. I really do believe he will get out of this. It's really, really compounded because new offense, and they're asking him to throw the ball. Like, it's not like we are balanced. We're not even balanced. We're literally like 80-20. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it's like we're so off. We're so off towards passing. He's like exposed. So everyone's like, I'm gonna kill this dude because he likes to hold the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's not much you can do other than try to continue to coach him up. Again, you don't want to analysis by paralysis. You don't want to continue to say, hey, go check the ball. He needs to learn how to do that himself innately. But with also have to remind him to do that too. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. But he's going to get better. I think he'll get better. It's just taking a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I think to an extent you also want to kind of be careful with it because you don't want to change the player too much to the point where he's checking down and pulling the ball too fast. Now he's missing open receivers because he's jumping out of it too quickly. So you want to be kind of careful with how you do it. But like you said, like we all kind of agree, I think it's a fixable thing though. Just experience.
Yeah, and let's say this too while we're on here. We know Sam's not perfect. He is missing people open because when he's holding the ball like that for almost 4 to 5 seconds, I guarantee you there is somebody open in the offense, but he's going through regressions so occasionally instead of going to the guy that he knows is supposed to be open. That's where the trouble leads. I think with a quick game, he's excelling in that right now, and that gives him a great rhythm. But when it comes to these long and slow developing plays that EB is dialing up, I think that's where the trouble is starting to come in slightly. And I could throw an example right then. The first game against the Cardinals, where everybody talked about the Diami play where he was going in motion and ran that wheel down the sideline, but instead of hitting that, he hit the easy shot with Jahan Dotson coming back to the ball. Those are things that us as a fan base, we're going to have to grow with. And I'm completely accepted that because I'd rather see him grow and learn what he needs to hit now than go with somebody who has 10 plus years of experience and he's still going to miss it regardless.
Yeah, I think some of it is also to Ceelo's point about him having kind of still having lingering bad habits from college and maybe even some from high school. I think sometimes he gets in this mode of he's still expecting to see people wide open. And if they aren't wide open, he's a little hesitant to let it go. Now we've all seen that he can make those type throws. So it's not like he can't make those throws. But I think sometimes he gets in that mode of if he's not wide open, I don't want to feel like I'm forcing it in there. And then, you know what I mean, somebody jumps the route or whatever the case may be. Where in the NFL, this is open in the NFL. Throw the football, you know what I mean? So I think that's part of it too. Him kind of looking downfield, especially some of those crossing routes going across the middle where it's kind of cloudy, where we know he can make that throw, but he wants to see somebody wide open instead of just having to step on somebody.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. We passed the ball after 6 weeks. We say he may run the ball. That's probably what he's telling. That's probably what he's telling Brissett on the sideline. He said, yeah. I may. You let me call the play? I may run the play. Yeah. You feel me? Like, they're going crazy, man. Y'all going crazy in the comments. Oh, God. We can't trust Giambi. He can't catch. Oh, God. He should have caught that ball. I understand, like, AJ Terrell, you might not go get that call against AJ Terrell, but sometimes, man, like, just me.
You got to play through contact. You got to play through contact.
Play through contact, bro. Like, Terry, we know what Terry going to do. He's always going to at least try to come to the ball and get it contested with his body or something. Fight for the ball, man. That's money.
Listen, you grab Terry's arm, he gonna take you and his arm with you while he go up to get that football. Like he may not catch it, but we going up with it though. We going together. You know what I mean?
We are going up with it.
You gotta attack the football, and a lot of young receivers have that problem where once you make contact, whether you grab them, you push them, whatever, they just want to go with whatever contact you give them instead of playing through it. And a lot of referees, if you don't play through it, a lot of referees won't call it. Unless it's like blatant. And even then, we've seen some blatant ones missed too. So,
yeah, most definitely. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to give you our studs and duds from this game, and we're going to preview a little bit into Giants Week as we get ready to prep against the New York Giants in MetLife.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Trail, inviting you to come hop in with me to take a ride on the Burgundy and Gold Road Report. Reporting in Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 4:30. Until just come in, hop in, enjoy some good Commanders talk.
All right, and we are back to Owning the Huddle podcast. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and get to our studs and duds for this past game. I'm gonna go ahead and start off first. For me, the stud I would say for this week. I didn't even think about it like this. The stud I will say for this week is Casey Toohill. Casey Toohill on good, limited snaps. He comes in, he produced right away, set the edge. Boy got wheels, got 2 sacks. He's already up there with Montez Sweat, up there with Chase Young with leading the sacks and stuff like that. And for a room that has a lot of free agent guys coming up this year and with new ownership in, it's going to be interesting to see how does this defensive end room look next year for everybody. I think Toohill balled out and he made plays when we needed it. Honorable mention I will also say is Khaleke Hudson. Finally got some snaps in, even though I felt like Barden may have played his best game this week, and maybe because of the single package used. But when Khalid Hudson got an opportunity, immediately you see him flying to the football. And that's what you want for a player that's been on this team for a while, that understands the system, has the speed, has the talent to play, and he made some plays. But the dud I will have for this week, and I know they got some picks, but I gotta go with the secondary, bro. You let Desmond Ritter throw for 300 yards. You let Desmond Ritter throw for 300 yards, but that's nasty. I'm sorry.
I mean, they shut Bijan down.
Yeah, they shut Bijan down, but you know what the goal is when you usually shut the running back? You gotta make the quarterback beat you.
Yeah,
and
he almost did. He almost did.
Yeah, there were some times he missed some throws, but now I think about it. I fall asleep at night. I think about him throwing dots on us a little bit. It was at 51%, but 300 yards to Desmond Ritter. I don't know, man. It should have been at least 200, 198. That just me. Maybe I'm asking for too much. I probably is asking for too much, but that's just me.
I know. If a quarterback throw you 3 interceptions and still throw a 305, that math ain't mathing. But that math ain't mathing to me. But
if he was just a tad bit more accurate, bro, that would have been a different game. Like that's, and I know we can't say what ifs. Football is football. You can't say, oh, with this or that. But boy, man, he missed bad.
Yeah.
Now maybe that was defensive line, right? So hey, we can give it to it. We affected that. But he was that BSJ interception. I don't know what that was. Matter of fact, that probably should have been a delayed game. But different story.
My studs for the game. Because you took Casey Hill. We had a great game, by the way. I gotta go with my fellow Kentucky Wildcat. I'm gonna give it to Jamin Davis.
Nice.
Jamin. He did get cooked by Kyle Pitts once. But I mean, whatever. But he had an interception on one of the best plays I've seen Jamin Davis make in Burgundy and Gold. I believe he had a sack too, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, I think it took a while. It took a while, but I think it's finally starting to click for Jamin. I think he's really finally starting to, come into his own, not just in the NFL, but within his defense, which might suck because it's probably been a different defense next year, but that's another conversation. But yeah, I think Jamin had a great game. I'm not going to be as harsh on the secondary for the reason that they did get some turnover. Cam Curl had a good game. Kendall Fuller had a pick. BSJ had a pick, although it was thrown right to him. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jamin Davis for my stud of the game because you took Casey Hill. My dud. I hate to do this. Because I'm a wide receiver guy, man. I gotta give it to Jahan Dotson. I think he only had one target, but it was a wide open drop on a pass that I will go to my grave saying it's probably a touchdown last year. It just dropped, like it hit both hands. He just dropped it, and then he was pretty much non-existent. He was entirely non-existent the rest of the day. I don't know what's going on with Jahan. I'm on record saying what I think of Jahan currently and progressive, like moving forward. But he just, for whatever reason, just hasn't happened. So he's in a bad sophomore slump this year. And that drop hurt me to my heart to see him do that. So I gotta go with Jahan. I'm sorry, gotta go with Jahan.
No, I mean it's cool. I get it. He has not had a good start to the season, especially after the hype he was getting heading into this new offense and with a new quarterback and how EB was going to scheme up some things. But I believe he's going to get right. I believe he's going to be okay. He just needs to be more consistent with his hands when he has opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen that. I don't think he's going to have as many opportunities in this offense as he had last year. But when he has an opportunity, he can get open. So when he has an opportunity, he's got and Sam give him a chance. He's got to make something happen with the football, not just for him, but for the offense.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I didn't think about that one. For me, my stud is going to be Cornelius Lucas. Obviously sorry for the Lenos and their circumstances. But that being said, Lucas stepped up, bro. 0 sacks. I don't know about the pressures, but he balled out. He helped they actually ran behind him a couple times. B-Rob did. So I like what he looked. I mean, he looked healthy. I know he was banged up last year. He looked healthy and he just looked like he was doing his thing. So that's my stud for the for the game there. In terms of a dud, can I have a stud and a dud in the same like sentence? My stud and dud, if I could do that, would be Jamison Crowder.
Let's talk about it.
Bruh.
Is it because he didn't score?
Yes. It's because he didn't score.
Yes.
I'm gonna let Ceelo take it first. This is his dud, but I got something for this. Go ahead.
Hey,
yo. So listen. So listen. First of all, I'm joking, right? I mean, obviously, it was great that he did what he did. He set us up for a score. Boom. But so so we were sitting in the I don't know what direction. We're sitting in the end zone side, right? Up high. And I saw him catch that. I was like, yo, you gotta hit that. It was the lane was like wide, just the way the angle was, it was wide open. So I'm like, and Deuce is right next to me. I'm like, yo, he gonna hit this. At least get some, get a good return. I wasn't expecting him to obviously take it all the way back. Then he gets to like the 10, and you can see his face. He's like, oh crap, I got another 10 yards. Yo, he straight downshifted. He was like, I ain't got it, bro. I haven't run 100 yards in 2 years. You can tell he wasn't expecting that. You can just tell. I was like, now, granted, it's a great return, or a very good return. We still scored, but bro, you got to score right there. You just got to score right there. You're not going to have it any easier than that. Hardly anyone touched him. Like he you know what happens typically when the returner, like when he has one more guy, which is the kicker or the kicker or punter, whatever it was. And he kind of juked him out like, oh, bam. And he still got caught. I'm like, yo, how do you still get caught after juking out the punt? Like that's usually that's like the last piece of the puzzle. So that's kind of like my stud and dud in like the same sentence. Like he's, so I love you, Jamison. It was all good. But that was crazy to watch, man. I saw it the whole time. I knew he was going to score, and he's like, he let me down.
Listen to me. Now, mind you, I'm watching from TV. I wasn't in the stadium. I saw him catch the punt. Made one guy miss. Okay, Jamison, boom. Get that field. Make another guy. Okay, Jamison, okay. I'm thinking he's going to get like 15, 20 yards max, right? Make another guy miss. Oh, wait a minute. He about to go. Okay. He crosses the 50. He gets to about the 25, 20-ish yard line. And I'm literally watching. I'm sitting right here looking at this TV on the wall. And I see his body start downshifting. I'm like, oh, uh-oh. He starts to veer out this way. I see the punter go to him. He cuts back, makes some man. Like, okay, I think he's good. And I'm looking. And like Ceelo said, he got about 10 yards left, and you can see his body language like, damn. I got like, man, he couldn't catch me. Damn. All right. I got to run this. Whew. Okay, here we go. And you can literally watch half the Falcons punt team just start hawking him within like the next 10 yards. I'm like, oh my God, they about to catch him. I would have rather you got hit at the 50-yard line, you break that and get caught at the 4. Now I'm happy. I loved it, but you gotta finish that off. You gotta finish that. I get it. He hasn't had to do it, but when I'm sitting, I literally watched his body start downshifting. I'm like, oh, dang, I'm like, he ain't gonna make. I'm sitting like, he ain't gonna make it, bro. I'm hopeful, but he ain't finna make it.
I don't know if he had the oxygen on the sidelines, but he definitely should have because my boy was done.
Just him, man.
I mean, 100 yards was that almost 100 yards? I don't know. It was close. That's a long distance, you know.
Especially when you running around and juking. I get it.
Yeah, it's not like one. You're right. It's not just one. It's probably like 115 yards. You know.
So the return was 61 yards.
Okay.
So where was he down at? He was down at what, like the 5?
Yeah.
6. So yeah. So let's be nice and say it was 65-yard punt or 65 yards to run, and he got about 40, 45 and was like, whoo, like he was almost hoping for somebody to tackle him at that point.
I think that's exactly what it was.
Like,
my stud and dud.
Hey, you know what? Now I think about it now. You guys are right. He should have scored. He should have scored.
He should have scored.
But he's better than a guy that is literally on IR. And I literally forgot.
No. That one return made it worth it. That one return. He got more on that one return than 15 got all of last season. I'm fine with that. But when I sit here on my couch and I literally watch your body start giving up because you know you can't make it, and then I watch half the people you just ran past. You remember on Madden when maybe it was one of the football games a while back when you would use somebody too much and they would get tired and they would just start slowing down, like their speed would decrease by 50% in the middle of a play. That's exactly what happened to Jamison Crowder. He ran past like 8 people, and all of a sudden his body said, "Nope, we ain't finna make this one."
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
is there any honorable mentions we should say for the game? I mean, the interception. St. Jude's got his first pick.
I think Cam could be an honorable mention. Terry Payne. Listen.
Payne had this one play, y'all. He had this one play where I don't know if y'all caught this. He tossed the guard, the left guard. He tossed this dude, and then they had a fullback. You know, Atlanta uses fullbacks. Right. He literally flung the fullback to the right. So guard to the left, fullback to the right, and tackled. I think it was actually Algiers. He tackled the dude. So he literally took care of the whole thing himself. I mean, literally guard, fullback, tackle for loss. Are you kidding me?
Deron Payne is built different. If y'all haven't seen it, go watch the Commanders mic'd up from this week. Deron Payne was mic'd up. Now I saw it when it happened during the game, but hearing it mic'd up is way different. Deron Payne, what does Deron Payne weigh? He over 300 pounds, right?
Yep.
Or close to it.
Yeah.
Like Deron, we all understand what a 3-point stance is. He gets in this thing, and the majority of his body weight is then focused and centered on his right hand, or whichever hand he had down. And he puts his body weight on his hand, and his finger pops out of place because of it. He then collapses to the ground in pain because, hey, that hurts. And I think he got called for encroachment or offsides with her because of that. Hey, whatever, bro, you get a pass for me. He then gets up, pops his finger back in the socket, gets it taped together, and is on the field the next play.
Yeah.
I played football for a long time. I'm not right in the head. I've done some crazy stuff on the football field. What I promise you I'm not finna do is pop my own finger back into place, put some tape on it, and then go back in 30 seconds after that. It's not finna happen. I do not care. I don't care. I'm not doing that. Deron Payne is built different, bro. And I'm sure there are a lot of dudes that would do that. And, you know, NFL has things put in place for that to not be a big problem. You know, we ain't got to go into detail of it. But, no. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's that dude. He is that dude. I almost said I wanted to mention him, but, you know, he is a bad dude. Bad dude.
Glenn, no.
bro.
Glenn, why is Glenn trying to start stuff? Is it time to start the Chase
A
Young?
is going in on the chat, bro. A-Dot is wild.
No.
He said
it's not time yet, Glenn.
He
What
said,
did that say? I'm terrified
he
of what
said,
that say.
if that was Chase with the dislocated finger, he'll been out for 6 weeks. Yo, A-Dot is wild, yo. Like, I don't think Chase is lazy at all. That's just me. I'm not even being biased. But I will say, for some reason, he's not punishing the quarterback like I would want. Like he's trying to go for the ball like he used to do when he was at Ohio State instead of just tackling the guy. That's how I feel. And I do remember the last time he played in Atlanta, they did call him for a dumb roughing the passer penalty. And I don't know if I'm not trying to make it see that they I'm about to start ending these messages. How about that? Nobody get the messages up here. Y'all but Chase just got to finish. That's really the only thing he needs to do. He got to finish the sack. He had an opportunity to sack. He had an opportunity to get Ritter, and he didn't finish. Casey Tuhill, he finished, and that's really in the discussion.
Yeah, that's all. I agree 100%. I'm not gonna say Chase is lazy. No, I can't say that. But yeah, he's got to finish sacks. Like he has the ability to create pressure, and now you have to go finish. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, lazy is about that's pretty.
These folks in the comments, y'all in timeout. I'm back in teaching mode.
No.
Who put in the comments up there? How you being the mute?
Deuce. Bro.
That's Deuce.
But so we're gonna get ready for this game coming up. It's Giants week. We've been talking about it in the chats. We've been talking about it for a whole year. We got receipts on these boys.
Yeah.
Look, you're 1-5, and I kind of expected that slightly based on the teams and the way they were winning last year. But this is definitely a trap game. No ifs, ands about it. This is definitely a trap game for this team. Yes, I am the Fed. I am the Fed. Tell me more. Tell me more, brother. Tell me more.
Oh man.
This definitely a trap game for me because this is a team that we have struggled. We have matched majority of the times. And I just feel like this year we have to beat them. I don't care if Daniel Jones is out there or what. We're playing New York Giants. You gotta beat them. You gotta beat them. If you want to be a playoff team, if you want to separate yourself from the bottom of the NFC East, you have to win these games so that way you can make a run.
Yeah. Only thing I disagree with is that I would never consider an NFC East game a trap game. Historically, not just with our team, but any team in this division, when they play another division rival, those records seem to go out the window. So I wouldn't call it a trap game. I mean, I understand why anybody would, but I definitely wouldn't. I mean, yeah, these games, these games, yeah. All the record and performance and everything leading up to it goes out the window whenever these teams match up, especially for some reason with the Commanders and the Giants. And usually the Giants seem to be on the better side of that historically, but yeah. But other than that, I don't disagree with what you said. They have to win this game though. Regardless of what it is, they gotta go win.
So you can definitely this should not be a trap game because we ain't that good. So
valid, that's fair.
Like, how can we call a game a trap game when we're a 500 team? That's our record. That's who we are. We struggled in those 3 wins, except for Atlanta. Atlanta was I think Atlanta was a solid win, but the other 2 were against teams that, let's face it, we all felt were lesser. We were better than we thought we were better than, and then the 3 losses, we got mollywopped. right? We got minus the Philadelphia Eagles. We got mollywopped against the Bills. Got mollywopped against the lowly Bears. We cannot go in anywhere and say we are like they're looking at us like we can get right. Like they looking at us like we can get right. Like this team, and then secondly, they've actually had a fairly tough schedule. Think about it, right? They got rocked by Cowboys. Okay, that's not good, but they got rocked. They had a fairly close game against San Francisco, but ended up pulling. San Francisco pulled away towards the end, but it was a competitive game up until maybe like the third to fourth quarter, and then they played a very, 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 very close game with the Bills. So now, believe me, I don't think that's a very good football team, right? So I think the two teams are in different trajectories. Like I do feel like on paper the Giants have kind of made some decisions that I don't think were good for the future of that football team, at least near future. But that's neither here nor there. For us, I think we're in a better position because we have a foundation. We have a young quarterback. Literally, this is his first year. Like, we can't even compare it to quarterback situations because ours is literally just learning on the job. That guy been in there for 5 years. So I feel like the organizations are going in different directions. But in terms of this game, like, we're not in the position to just be like, oh that's light work. I wish we could say that. But we just can't say that yet because we barely beat the freaking like Broncos and we barely beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of where I go back and forth.
I definitely understand. Like, we have this tendency where, I mean, it's very true. We have this tendency where we see these teams on the schedule early and we're like, oh yeah, we're going to put 30 on them. We're going to put 40. We're going to make a statement. And then we keep forgetting, like, we haven't even shown that in a decade that we are consistently capable of doing that. And that's what a lot of our fan base want. They want consistency. And I want consistency as well. But, it doesn't work like that a lot of times. And you're looking at this Giants team and this game coming up. This Washington team reminds me slightly of the 2021 team when Taylor Heineke was quarterbacking and the defense once again went on to a slow start. That was after the season, went to the playoffs, kind of felt themselves a little bit. The discipline on the defensive line was going crazy. Defense was not playing good at all. Offense, after the first couple of games, they had struggled. So going on the road against an NFC East foe, the Giants, and they're kind of getting a taste of that a little bit reality as well, like the 2021 Washington team, a team that had exceeded expectations and tried to mask a lot of deficiencies on their team, and they started to play the real teams, and they see where they at right now. They're 1-5, and they have played some playoff teams as well. And the last game they just played, they lost in a nail biter. So we're going to get the best New York team we're going to get. And they're going to find ways to attack us. So our corners better buckle up. They've seen this as a get right game. What they say in New York, they licking their butters. They licking their butters right now.
Oh man,
I'm for real. And you know what's crazy? I saw this stat the other day. Do you know Paris Campbell is averaging running back yards in terms of wide receiving? 4.4 yards reception? That is disgusting. 23 receptions for 85 yards. That is nasty.
Like I said, I think that's a bad football team, but somehow, man.
But I mean, not that I'm saying it's going to happen, and obviously I hope it doesn't happen. But based on what we've seen, it's going to end up being a tough football game.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Waller going to go for 115 yards, and Jalen Hyatt going to have 8 catches, and Saquon Barkley going to come back, but he'll going to rush for 42 yards. And if Daniel Jones plays, he gonna have a 75-yard run. And if Tyrod Taylor plays, he gonna throw for 340, 48. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what we just seem to do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's us, why it has to be us. But
literally every receiver except for the Arizona game, at least one receiver went off every game.
Yeah. I will say this though.
Good receivers too, by the way. I'm like, you know.
Yeah. For the ignorance of me and the pettiness, I do want Tyrod to play and look better so I can have a Tyrod Taylor is better to take it Joe's narrative, bro. Because I don't care what nobody say. The simple fact that he played with that deficient O-line, he only got sacked 3 times. He did get pressure a lot, but he was pushing the ball downfield.
Right.
And when there were guys open, he made the throws.
Right.
I wasn't seeing that with Daniel Jones.
I mean, Tyrod is a good, experienced quarterback. He hasn't had a whole lot of starting opportunity, but he's a very good quarterback in my opinion.
Yep.
I think Tyrod Taylor is one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. And he might be 30, but I think he's one of the top 32.
Yep. Agree.
Yeah, he's had his bad share of luck. Now, then he had like a weird incident with like a doctor or something with his chest.
Yeah, when he was with the Chargers, he supposed to get some kind of pain injection for his, I think it was rib or his back or something. So he's supposed to get an injection, and the doctor jabbed him with the needle and like punctured his lung or something weird like that. Like it was some kind of crazy, yeah.
Yeah, he from the area too. He's from Hampton.
Yeah, that's why you want him to be successful, because you can have a
No. I don't try to use the VA card. I just want to push my agendas because I already made a bet with my students. I already said, bro, look,
man, stop making bets with these kids, man.
Hey, man, look, I already said we lose this game, we might as well take, bro. I gotta come with an Odell Beckham at me and put work, yo.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God, they understand my hatred. Like, bro, I hate the Giants so much. I like here, bro. It's obviously it's Cowboys. It's a lot of Cowboys VA, but bro, these Giant fans on Twitter, they make me sick. Yeah, we did win, Deuce. We won 43-0.
Ask what my final score was.
Yeah, what was the final score? Yeah, what was the final score, Deuce? Huh? Where you go?
Deuce team, we beat them 45-12.
Oof.
That was 2 weeks ago. Last week we won. Last week we beat my alma mater. I beat my own school 60-0, and then we beat their JV the day before that 54-7. So you know. Listen.
Skirts was pulled up, didn't it?
Listen. You want smoke? Come get it. That's how we moving. Y'all want smoke? Come get it.
Oh my God, bro.
The crack babies. Oh Lord.
Dude's blowing his own chat up, man.
Yeah.
But, DCIAA football. Y'all want some smoke? Come get it. What's the bet, DC?
Okay, so my bet is if we win, I got all the kids singing "Hail to the Commanders," and they're going to talk about how good Sam Howell is. If we lose, I got to come in with a New York Giants Avi. I got to praise Daniel Jones, and I gotta talk like a New York person for 2 months.
You gotta do what for 2 months?
I gotta talk like I'm from New York for 2 months, man.
2 months is a long time, DT.
That's a long time, bro. As a teacher, when your job is to talk to people, that's a long time, bro.
Hey, man.
And you know them kids finna hold you to that.
Hey, man, I got the butters ready. It's getting chilly down here.
Can we get a little taste, like a real taste of
taste?
back? Because wait, I want you to know. If you lose this bet, you coming on this podcast next week with a New York accent. I want you to know that. I want this.
Hey, look, I gotta study, man. I'm like the students. I gotta study this weekend here.
Oh my God.
Man,
you gotta get some big earrings that's like this big, like, you know, you gotta go all out. like a size 8 fitted hat, but like your ears is tucked up inside of it. You gotta go all the way out. Like
6 figures is crazy. Hey, I seen him the other day, Glenn. He is working at Domino's. He got the job.
Shout out to Domino's.
Oh man, I think we up here too much. I got stuff to do, man.
Hey man.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm enjoying the conversation. Anybody got any more questions before we get about this thing?
It is homecoming for me, so I'm gonna be bitter this weekend. Hopefully, pull this game. Next 3 games gonna be rough. Surrey Wednesday, and then it's backyard brawl last game of the year against Franklin.
We finna go beat Baloo Friday night because they've been talking a lot of trash. We finna go break the scoreboard over there in Southeast and then get a police escort back to the right side of the city. And then it's Howard homecoming weekend, baby. I'm outside with it.
Nice.
I'm outside.
Dunbar like Alabama is crazy.
I mean, listen.
Which Alabama? Alabama this year? Or?
Roll Tide, roll, baby. We the Dunbar Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, roll. And it feels weird to me saying that because I'm a Wilson Tiger, but hey, I got a ring to get. Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be busy Thanksgiving. I got a ring to go get.
Rocking purple Tims.
Purple Tims is crazy.
That is
now,
crazy.
I think he good with the butters.
Tims.
I think he good with the butters.
No, the butters. Yeah. I can see you with some butters, DT, for real.
Yeah, he probably went to school and everything.
Peace to the God. Hey man, that's gonna be crazy. I can't believe I said 2 months, bro.
Yeah, you tripping. You might want to go in there tomorrow and revise that bet.
Yeah, maybe 2 weeks, 2 days.
Yeah, but 2 months, dog. You do realize the Super Bowl is in February, right?
Hey man, look, the bets that I had this year is crazy. I got a Najee Harris bet. I slander this man every day for fantasy and real life purposes. The 3-point yard back.
No, but hold on. What's the date of the game?
John, Sunday.
Sunday is the 22nd. You lucky, because 2 months from now. 2 months from now is December 25th, bro. You pushing it. You almost. You finna have to go in the Christmas break with your New York. Yeah. Oh no. He finna close the show out in the New York accent. Don't even worry about that, Deuce. We got you. We got you. Don't even worry about it. We got you.
This is nasty, yo. Oh my God.
I gotta hear this.
Oh man. Oh man.
Hey, that is funny. 2 months is. In fact, don't revise this bet. Because I'm gonna have fun with this bet. Y'all want me to come back to Spaces? Let the Commanders lose this game, and DT got to be in class on these Spaces with this New York accent. I promise you, I'm in there. I promise you.
Oh my God. Hey, look.
You ain't think this through, did you?
Hey, look, bro. I do. You'll be surprised what I see every day. Today, I was just. Oh
no,
my
I
God.
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. You forgot I coached DC high school football. No, I would not. The stuff I got to deal with. Anyway, DT, bring us home, baby. You heard?
You heard? What's going on with the score? Score prediction in New York?
At this point, I kind of want to see like a 13-12 Giants win at this point, but just so DT can lose his bet. Yeah, the algorithm is cooked. The algorithm is cooked tonight.
Oh my God! Score wise, I'm gonna say 20-16.
I'm gonna say I was leaning towards something like that. I'm gonna say 22-13. Commanders.
I'm going to say 24-16, same score as last week.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Well,
got the safe card, brother. Before we end this show, this clip I have
but
to.
I'm about to say, yes.
We have to honor this because I saw this on the timeline after the game. It was by far the most hilarious clip. I seen my dad watch it like 7 times on Sunday. This is Deuce reaction.
Wait, hold on. Before you play it, so this is what's gonna happen, right? With the last drive, if my score is incorrect, it's gonna be you said 24-16, Ceelo?
Yeah.
All right, boom. So the Giants gonna be driving on the last series of the game, right? And Tyrod Taylor is gonna throw the ball to Jalen Hyatt, and Emmanuel Forbes is gonna jump it and intercept it with 37 seconds left, and this is gonna be Deuce's reaction to that happening.
Move Cora! No, don't put Jamin on! Don't put Jamin on BJ! Oh! He got a pick! He got a pick! No!
I'm gonna play it again, bro.
No! Jamin's on Kirk! No! Move Cora! No, don't put Jamin on! Don't put Jamin on BJ! Oh! He got a pick! He got a pick!
Oh!
Oh my
Oh
goodness!
my god, that is the funniest video I've seen this year, bro.
I've been laughing hysterically at that for almost a week. I mean, since Sunday, bro. Like, oh my god, yo!
Hilarious.
I'm about to make that Deuce's ringtone, bro. Every time Deuce called me, don't text me no more. Call me so I can hear that every time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my god, bro.
All right. With that being said, family, peace to the gods. This is your boy DT. Got my guy Ceelo. Got Breeze. Y'all be easy. Be ready, beloved. Let's go ahead. It's time to own the huddle.